Parents, listen up. This is your wake-up call. Cool isn't about clothes or trends. It's about connection. And today, you're about to learn how to master it. Let me ask you something. What if being a cool parent wasn't about being liked, but being remembered? Remembered as the one who truly saw, heard, and empowered their child. You don't need a manual to raise great kids. You need a mindset. And today I'm giving you the hacks that no one taught your parents. Do you want to become the kind of parent your kids actually want to listen to? Then stop policing and start awakening. Parenting isn't about how loud your voice is. It's about how clear your understanding is. The coolest parents aren't the ones with all the answers. They're the ones who've taken the time to ask themselves the right questions. Let's get something straight. You can't connect with your child if you're disconnected from yourself. If you're parenting from autopilot, stress, or fear, your energy will always speak louder than your words. Want to be cool? Start by being conscious. What are your triggers? Why do you react the way you do? Your ability to stay calm in chaos, that's your superpower. Children are emotional mirrors. If you want your kid to be confident, kind, respectful, and strong, you've got to embody those things first. Cool parenting is built from the inside out. It starts with modeling, not managing, influence, not intimidation. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Not every moment needs a lecture. Sometimes the coolest thing you can do is simply listen, because when your child feels seen, they'll start seeing you in a whole new light. And just like that, let's go deeper. Because now that you've woken up to yourself, it's time to truly understand your kids. Want to be the parent they open up to instead of hide from? Then throw out the correction manual and start speaking the language of connection. Kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's cliche, but it's gold. Every eye roll, every tantrum, every is a request for connection in disguise. And the coolest parents, they don't react, they decode. Here's a priceless hack. Stop trying to control their behavior and start getting curious about their needs. Behavior is a message, not a threat. When your child lashes out, they are not being bad, they are being overwhelmed. When they're distant, they are not defiant, they are disconnected. Read between the lines. You want cooperation? Build trust first. Want influence? Build empathy. Be the calm in their chaos, not the judge in their courtroom. Ask open questions. Validate feelings. Reflect their words. Show them you're not just in charge, you're on their side. Because when a child feels safe, they naturally listen. When they feel respected, they naturally respect. Connection doesn't weaken your authority, it cements it. Now imagine applying that kind of power. Let's crank it up. If you are still using because I said so as your parenting go-to, stop. That's not power. That's panic disguised as authority. The coolest parents don't bark orders. They build influence. Here is the truth. Leadership isn't about forcing obedience. It's about inspiring choice. If you want your child to follow your guidance willingly, stop acting like a boss and start behaving like a leader. Leaders don't dominate. They demonstrate. They don't say, do it now. They show why it matters. And influence isn't about being lenient, it's about being clear. Children thrive on boundaries not because they fear punishment, but because they trust the consistency. When they understand the why behind the rule, they internalize the value of it. So here's the hack. Narrate your thinking. Let them in on your logic. Say, I'm asking you to turn off the screen now because I care about your sleep and energy tomorrow. That builds emotional intelligence. It shows your child that decisions aren't random, they're rooted in care and wisdom. Cool parents communicate like mentors. They don't dominate the room, they own the tone. They get firm without being harsh, direct without being cold. And the result? Kids that respect you not because they have to, but because they want to. And that's when something magical happens. Let's flip the script right now because this next move separates the average parent from the cool parent in seconds. Discipline isn't about control, it's about coaching. We've been trained to think that punishment teaches responsibility. Wrong. It teaches fear, shame, distance. The goal isn't to make your child pay for a mistake. It's to help them learn from it. And here's the kicker. The cooler you stay, the more they grow. Cool parents use discipline to teach, not punish. They don't yell, threaten, or withdraw love. They get curious, stay calm, and invite their child into reflection. They say, let's talk about what happened. What was going on for you? What would you do differently next time? It's not about consequences instead of discipline. It's about consequences that create clarity, not confusion. And let's be honest, every mistake your child makes is a golden opportunity to build wisdom. When handled right, it builds confidence, not fear. Accountability, not rebellion. So here's your priceless hack. Use natural consequences. When a child forgets their homework, let them face the teacher. When they speak disrespectfully, pause and ask, can we try that again in a more respectful way? Show them the power of choice and the impact of those choices. That's real strength. That's cool authority. And once you master that, yes, we're still climbing. And this is where you level up big. You want a child who listens, trusts, and thrives, then you've got to fill their emotional tank every single day, not once a week, every day. Kids don't act out because they're bad. They act out because they're running on empty. If you don't fill their cup with attention, joy, and love, they'll beg for it through chaos. That's not misbehavior, that's unmet need. And the secret sauce? It's easier than you think. Just 10 minutes of undivided attention can change the mood of the whole day. One moment of eye contact, one burst of laughter, one real honest compliment that says, I see you. Cool parents know that play is power. It's not a waste of time. It's the bridge to connection. When you enter their world, you gain access to their heart. Praise wisely, not for outcomes but for effort. Say, I'm proud of how hard you tried, not just good job. Celebrate their kindness, their courage, their curiosity. That's how you shape identity from the inside out. And don't forget presence. Put the phone down. Look up. Be there fully. Kids spell love, Time, and when you give it to them freely, they give you trust, respect, and love in return. Now imagine what happens when you start every day with that kind of energy. Being a cool parent isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's not about control, but connection. Your words shape their world. Your calm becomes their courage. Every moment you choose understanding over anger, empathy over ego, you're not just raising a child, you're raising a future. So keep showing up, keep growing, and remember, the coolest parents don't just guide, they inspire. So keep that energy high, your heart open and your mind sharp, because what comes next will take everything you just learned and light it on fire.